All right, so I've used this stove about a week. That's how much wood I've burned. I burned almost that whole face cord. But a lot of that wood that I burnt this week was this old stuff here. Like this old, really old stuff. So it'd probably burn a little bit faster. But that's 1 week of use. I've burnt through the whole face cord just about. But it's been pretty cold. It's been down in the 20s, and I think tonight's gonna be down in the teens. This thing is running. That's what she looks like. I usually like to keep that back in there. I like to keep it kind of clean. Well, it gets good air circulation. It heats the house good. No smoke coming out of it. Burning good and hot. It's 72 degrees in here, and that's by using my Sureflame outside wood burning stove. Here's the thermostat I use for that. I usually set it just a hair above 70, and it keeps it, whenever it's burning good and hot, it'll jump up to about 73 on this screen. Usually when that screen gets down to about 70 or 69, I'll go out and throw some wood on it. I like to keep it good and warm in here, so I put wood on it 3 times a day. But one thing about this is to the wood stove. It's just a little Honeywell. You can get them at any hardware store. Anytime I'm not going to use that wood stove, if I know I'm going to kick this heat pump back on, I take my thermostat and I drop it all the way down, and it'll kick the circulating fan off that's at the front of the stove. Kick it off, and that'll keep your fuse from blowing. Because a lot of times if the electric goes out, it'll blow that fuse outside. And that'll keep that from blowing. Just turn it off right there first, and then go out and turn your breaker off to the wood stove, and then just turn your heat pump on. That little box right there that sits on the back of the stove, that's where your fuse is located. It blows a lot. That box will kick up, and of course mine is deceiving. I need to get some new screws in it, but you'll know it'll stand about 1 inch or 2 above. That usually will mean that your fuse has been blown. I do not recommend. A lot of people put a brick on top of that to hold it down to keep their fuse from blowing. But I think I told y'all that I had a bird get in my blower fan motor up there at the front and stopped it up. Well, I had a brick on that to keep that fuse from blowing, and that caused the thing to overheat. That firebox overheated, and a lot of my switches and stuff got melted, so I had to put all new switches, plus I had to replace that fan because it burned up where that fuse wouldn't kick. So that's what happened when I had the fire department out here. The house was filling up with smoke. I had a brick on top of that, and that motor in the front got stopped up with a dead bird, and it wouldn't let that fuse kick, so it just kept overheating and overheating, and that's what happened with that. So a lot of people put a brick on top of that to keep it from breaking. I understand, because it's kind of aggravating to come out here and replace a fuse in it when it's cold outside, but you're better off, in my opinion, just to let it operate like it's supposed to and replace that fuse.